There we go. All right.
Good, homeboys.
Recap from last time. Um, note that as of last time, we've got about 8 days remaining to the peace talks.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of talk to Fervus about plans for the day. After we got back up like early, ridiculously early in the morning, late at night from the ceremony, Fervus has got plans to confront a bit of his past. Other conversations were had, some funnier than others. And
Fervus had the same conversation twice with Ashton and Esther, essentially.
yeah,
Deja vu. I've been punched in this face before.
Yep, deja vu.
yep. So he goes down and he's ready to initiate a trial by combat. The thing is, it's not a good thing to call at the gathering. It can be a little bit overlooked if it is not requested on gathering grounds, and if it is then done at an old Genasi ruin nearby, that's kind of a gray area. If it is an official trial, an official challenge, again, can't be set at gathering grounds, and also can't kill opponents. Unofficial is a bit more open. So we find Farron at the edge of the gathering talking to members of his tribe. We get him to go to the ruins, however. Fervus may have said the word fight.
He did not.
He did.
He did.
In fact, he said challenge.
I said challenge. I never said fight, though.
All right.
He said challenge to a duel.
Mm-hmm.
Did I?
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard it and I was like, oh, okay.
Six half dozen.
So we've chosen violence today.
So anyhow, we get him to go to the ruins. Farron demands that if he wins, and he's so certain that he's like when he wins, Esther is going to escort him to the elders to make a case for re-entering the tribes. Thing is, he does not win. Fervus still takes him down. However, then it comes out that technically Fervus did call for a fight, a challenge, while still on gathering grounds. So Farron is like, hey, you bring this to the elders, I'm going to bring that to the elders, and you're going to be in trouble too. He still wants his tribe to be brought back in, says that only they can judge him legally until such a time as he is part of the tribes again. But given Garil a little bit of time and a book from the library, if we get the tribe in and get them reaccepted, reabsorbed, then Farron can get kicked out for crimes he's committed. And if we do it when Fervus is of age, then he'll become the leader of that group due to trial by combat. He might have to redo a trial by combat, but, you know, he already won once. In 1 month, Fervus will be of age. His birthday is like a week after Rosalind's, so we've got like 3-4 weeks before he'll be ready for that. With that, we headed back up to the castle, where we have plans to travel.
I believe first you guys got shawarma, though.
We did. You're right.
So, as you guys make your way over to the shawarma hut that I believe was just outside the entrance of the gathering that you guys mentioned, there is a quite pleasant atmosphere. It smells undeniably like roasted garlic the whole way through. You basically get led there by your own noses. And standing at the kind of counter is this just very jolly, you almost want to say, looking Genasi. He's quite round, with a big smile on his face and this drooping mustache, Earth Genasi. And you see he is cooking this shawarma the size of like a young child, and then wrapping it up for what seems to be a Goliath fellow, and handing it to him with a big grin in his face.
That is never how I wanted a shawarma to ever be described, but that is the image. That is always how I've wanted a shawarma to be
The
described.
shawarma the size of a small child.
Where's the picture?
A furnished shawarma. What?
By the way, to be clear, the Goliath I'm imagining totally looks like the bull from Dragon Age Inquisition.
Fair enough.
Hot.
I should have seen that coming.
Yeah, I should. Yeah, you really should have.
But yeah, he as you guys walk in, he greets you all in Primordial, and then in yes, cartoonishly large food is wonderful because you live in a land full of genasi.
Yes.
Druid. Genasi?
Sorry,
Druids.
Druid's what I was going to say, but genasi also applies. Yes,
How are you able to find that so quickly?
It's in our
that was impressive.
It's in our images. There's like 4 of them.
So, as you guys kind of come in, he kind of welcomes you all over and waves you over to come cooking. His common is good. It's heavily accented with Primordial, though, but you guys all speak Primordial, so he switches that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And he basically asks all, like, what you want in the orders, and would you guys like to add any kind of personal touches to your shawarmas?
Hey,
No,
so
Fergus
what
just wants
are
to
what
eat.
are you guys saying? I don't understand what this is.
Oh, he's asking what you'd like on your shawarma.
Or if you want anything like special on it.
Well, gee, is there a option without all the animal bits?
Yep. He kind of points a little spatula at you and smiles and starts making it up. He takes a quick look at you, like sizes you up, takes a look at your brother. Are you guys in Furbolg or in dwarf form?
I think we already used our dwarf then.
Okay, so
By now,
Furbolg.
didn't we?
We used it. We used it the previous day. This is a new day, technically.
Mhm.
I'm not.
Did you guys not use it when you first entered the gathering, though?
You know what? We
Good
might have.
point.
Okay, so Furbolg form. So he takes a big look at you guys and a big smile, and he points to you, Tinsuk. Tornik? The brother. Other one.
There you go. Looks over. I'm more okay with the meat there. I mean, I guess whatever the chef's recommendations are.
There's this like twinkle of like a bright white tooth underneath the mustache and with the smile once more. And you see him working, and like a pair of what seems to be like mage hands appears over his shoulders and start cooking with him as he just like has 4 spatulas and is going crazy. And it's like looking at the rest of you for your order as well.
I'll have a mixed shawarma. Chicken
You
and
know.
beef.
But he goes, spice?
Yes.
Spice, good. He turns it
Do you
into
spice? Spice? Spice?
All the fixins, like a bearable amount of spice.
an extra mage hand comes out to fist bump you.
Okay. Yeah, Z's getting like anything that can be on it is going to be on it. This thing's going to be the size of Xenia's head, hopefully.
Looks over to Esther.
Yeah, pretty much the same shit.
All right. Fist bump goes to you too, Rosalind.
Yeah.
Your recommendation?
He takes a look at you and just goes, smaller?
Perhaps a bit.
He nods. Ashta?
You're looking.
He's a big grown boy.
I will end you.
Z's gonna,
I feel like Jonathan waiting his whole life for that to Devin.
when Ash is ordering, Z's gonna look and just go, oh, spicy for him.
He looks to confirm with you, Ashta. Spicy?
Shrugs. Sure.
Oh. Gosh,
By the end of it, you see he has like a number of these like floating hands. You count of like a total of 10, all helping him out cook and like holding different tools. And by the end of it, you each get handed your own. Like, it's not quite as big as the one that Goliath got handed, except for the one for Tinsuk and Tornik. Those two are the same size.
Mm.
Rosalind, yours is still easily like the size of your head
Ah.
and like just as wide. For the sister, is it Tinsuk or fuck? Hold on, which one is
Don't
sister?
hurt yourself, bud.
Which one is sister?
Ten.
Tinsuk, okay. For Tintruk, you notice he actually, inside like the lining of the tortilla, he actually has a piece of like, it's basically a crunchy desert lettuce, that has like spice to it, like inside the tortilla poking out.
that's hot.
And Rosalind, yours is again smaller, like I said, but everyone else, you guys have these like fucking massive shawarmas, and you each smell like a slight bit of magic on each of them.
Oh no.
Whoa.
God. Oh no. Oh please. Oh darn.
So, Tin
All right.
is gonna do a little detect magic.
All right. I will say,
We already got that going. All right.
Yep. I will say, Tornik, you already know what this does. So culinary magic is kind of your thing.
Yeah.
You know that actually that these are probably going to be more expensive burritos than you thought. Because these burritos permanently increase your HP by 2.
Oh!
Not by a huge amount, but by 2. And it's got a basically an enchantment on it to make you more able to eat it because it's a lot.
God damn, son. Alright.
It's real good for the stomach there.
Yeah.
I think I understand why you don't exactly have the prices front and center.
Yep, he
Oh.
smiles.
I used all my
We
money.
we can pay for you guys.
Flight.
Centaur, I got you. I can cop that.
Oh no, we got some
We
check his
got
pockets.
pulls at a patch on the cloak a little bit. We got away. How much would the two of ours be?
So for the 2 of yours, it would be 70 gold pieces.
Oh, that's real easy actually. The thing is, we'd have to get a lot of change.
He shrugs.
I'm serious here. This isn't something that I'm pulling out a bag of gold or anything. This is a thing that's worth some gold, and a lot of it.
He pulls out what looks to be a small vacuum with like a high score counter on it, basically.
Of course he fucking does.
Amazing. That's his tip jar.
Not quite.
Okay. And she'll pull a patch off of her robe of useful items, and it turns into a silver coffer worth 500 gold.
All right.
Ding.
So he looks at it. He takes the vacuum and like gestures for you to open up your hands, basically.
Yep.
And he deposits the smallest modicum of change at what are the equivalent for that? So 430. So four platinum and 3 gold. Or sorry, 43 platinum. Sorry, 43 platinum. Yeah, it's in a fucking Eric system.
So 500 minus 150, it would be 350 and change after covering Tin and Tor. So.
It was 70 total for the 2 of you.
Oh, it was 70 total. Oh.
Yep, 35 gold each.
Okay.
Esther, as you kind of like see him finish what he's doing, roll a history check for me.
You're
All right, advantage because of Fane, I assume.
saying.
You vaguely recognize this guy from a story you've been told.
Oh.
He's basically an inventor of a spell that he patented and forced the druids to pay him to teach them. And he's known for being a genasi who does like massive acts of charity with that money. And is also just well known as a good chef.
Okay. God, I don't ever mind giving money to charity. She'll just kind of relay that to the rest of the group over Fane, and then just kind of explain to Tim and Tor. Just, he's a good guy.
That's
But
really good.
he hoovers the gold into your or the platinum into your hand.
Okay.
Tinsnook.
Yep.
And looks at the rest of you. For the rest, it'd be a total of what's that minus 700? 430 gold pieces for the rest. No. Sorry, I did the math wrong. It's 35 times 5.
Half that. Hold on.
17 and a half, so 175 gold pieces.
175. Yeah.
Yeah. So, mark it off party loot, and
Yep.
you guys can each eat your shawarma, and you can raise your max HP by 2.
Hey.
Just
nice.
to check, did somebody else do the party loot? Because I have not.
No. How much was the total? 175?
Yes.
That's gonna be frustrating.
I apologize.
Are you on party loot?
No, I'm not.
I will do it.
Okay.
I'll be angry about it.
Is it? Do you need to knock it down like everything, or what?
I mean, you can give them extra change if you need.
No. We had 97,170 gold.
Ah.
So I just do that.
That's fair.
It is marked off. So.
You can mark off 5 gold off your sheet if you want to make it even.
No. No.
Okay.
It's fine.
but you guys sit down. You eat probably the best shawarma you've eaten, unless Xenia's made one that I've forgotten about.
Probably like once, but it was early on, so this is the best shawarma.
All right. Yeah, the early on shawarmas were maybe not as good.
They were not shawarma. Legal.
No. I think technically at that point it's called rice. So
What?
you guys, I don't know. But with that, you guys can take a short rest. Use any abilities you would like to on a short rest, any hit dice, and you can head up to the castle.
Okay. I'm good to go
Alright.
up to the castle.
All good. Are we on the track up north? Should we all?
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
that-
got a long rest since the last thing in Torwin too, right?
Unless you guys cast any spells, which you don't have, then yeah, you did.
All right.
Don't
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself. I got spells. Just not many of them.
I have spells too. I
Like
just don't
2.
have-
Should we give everyone that in or out sort of announcement?
Yeah. Yes, it's gonna be just a thing where like, okay, we're gonna head north for a day, maybe 2. Decide if we're gonna come back, decide if you want to be in the gathering or if you want to be on the castle. And we're gonna give them
Yep.
time before we head
Okay.
out.
Yeah, you guys can easily give an hour, and at this point, there's a person in the castle who, just whenever this happens and hears a spell, just cast Skywrite, just to make things easy for everyone.
Are you talking to a cat in or out? In or out?
You take the gathering and you put it over there. No. So you guys can enjoy your lunch. How is Fergus looking after his ordeal of the day?
Not terribly well. He definitely needs some rest, but then he's gonna get right back to work on the binder boom cannon if he has time.
Okay.
for this.
And while he, yeah,
Honey, rest, please.
yes, he's going to do that. He's also going to tend to that Blood Fury tattoo.
You can do so during the short rest of lunch.
Yeah, he's gonna rest. He's gonna eat his shawarma and he's gonna pass out in a food coma.
Purvis, why are you? Why is the tattoo doing it automatically on you while you're eating your shawarma? Oh, you're passed out and it's still tattooing you. What the fuck?
He just falls asleep on top of the needle and it just kind of does the thing.
That's magic, right?
The way
guys?
he tosses and turns in a way that like mimics the scientific chemistry shapes, and it's just like, oh wow, that is a perfect looking tattoo. How does he do that?
I think how does he do that is a question for a lot of the shit that Purvis does.
Yeah,
That's a fair point.
I think at this point
How
we've
does
just
he-
accepted it. Without
Oh.
question.
Just considering he has literally divine level of intelligence, yeah. So, as that is done, and Fergus, you have a new, was it fractal, or do you want to do the chemistry symbols? All of you. Fergus?
Yep.
Do you want to do the chemistry shapes, or do you want to do the fractal tattoo shape?
I want to do. Can I do a mixture of both?
Look up
Yeah,
look up
sure.
alchemical symbols, because there's a lot of fun ones, and that could potentially be an entire design for you.
Alright.
I
So
suppose.
as that kind of...
I suppose if you do that, it's gonna show you like Full Metal Alchemist instead, but still.
Probably.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. It's,
Not a bad thing. So as those kind of... You guys watch as Fergus passes out, this just like massive network of red and black tattoos cross his entire torso and both arms and hands. Looks kind of cool, honestly. Very startling on the kind of baby face he has, though.
At that like spark of inspiration, Z's gonna look at Esther and just go, "So do you want to get a tattoo while they're gone?"
I would love to get that tattoo.
Oh, I already contacted my guy. I forgot we talked about this in character, and I'm being dumb.
You have a guy?
Yeah, he gave me my first 4.
I thought you were dating Sammy.
No, a person technically, not a guy, who does my tattoos.
Oh,
A
okay.
fella.
There was a guy who did my other 4 in Lentiel, which I feel like my current fellow is going to look at me and get mad about, but they've healed well enough. That could be his apprentice. Who knows? They were both elves. Elves know everyone, right? Elves know all elves.
That's Elvis.
Stop.
That was the thing that got said. That's canon.
Yeah, it is, baby.
Yeah.
Sabriel had to draw that.
He did. That's, honestly, at this point,
You can
he
put
knew
text
both.
boxes.
He can also decide that, editorial decision, not everything needs to be shown.
Why?
Yeah.
No.
But how else do you get across Xenia's entire ass personality?
Half of that would be censored.
That's fair.
Valid.
Yeah.
And not for the reasons you think.
Terrifying. So, with that, as everyone jumps onto the castle, and you all begin a 4.5 hour ride north, even at 90 kilometers per hour.
Okay.
So, by the time you arrive, it'll be about 2 p.m. But in the meantime, you guys have 4 hours. What do you do with it?
I'm gonna go find Pierre.
Okay.
He beat his ass off the island.
Going up to him.
You find him kind of working in the kind of underground cavern near where Talsant was doing their scrying.
Their
Like,
mental
one of
breakdown, yeah.
scrying, not specifically the breakdown area. He's in the kind of like communal kitchen, basically, teaching a bunch of the dwarves different kind of ways to prepare things that they might find on the island that don't normally grow underground.
He's just gonna like watch him for a second. Just Pierre.
He looks at you and just says, "This one is my kitchen. You either help or you leave."
We got off on the wrong foot.
Indeed, we did. You either help or you leave.
Uh-oh.
I'll help.
Good. Grab a pen.
I'll help. Do I get double hours for training?
Yeah, technically. Yeah, 8 hours training, technically. You can tell he's keeping a pretty close eye on you, and he does pretty frequently say, like, basically along the lines of, I'm not saying I'm doing it better than you, but I want it done this way, and while you're in my kitchen, you're going to do it this way.
Oh, Xenia's gonna make sure it's all exactly his way.
Yep. It's pretty often you'll come over and just kind of nitpick, but they're all accurate nitpicks, at least.
Mhm.
At one point, he basically just, like, throws you, like 20 apples, and just shows you a design how to make it once in like 30 seconds and just gets you to make as many as you can, then show the dwarves how to make it.
Xenia's using feign to keep the memory going. Slow-mo.
It's helping because he is tough.
Yeah.
But next up, I think Fergus wanted to do something.
Fergus will continue to work on the binary boom cannon with the dwarves.
All right, so go ahead and give me a intelligence check. If it's above a 17, you will get doubled hours.
Cool. Damn it!
All right, so you'll just get 1.5 in that case. You'll not get full double.
Yep. Okay.
All right,
So that's
6 total.
6 total. All right.
Yep. Next up, twins.
Oh, I kind of just want to hang out and spend a little time with my brother and with the mink and with the cat.
I think I can agree with that.
All right, feeling quite pleasantly full, you make your way over to the pets, and pretty quickly both are bowled over and covered in kitty slobber. And also, there's a brief moment where he goes to kind of like knead on your chest, like making biscuits, and almost like tears into you guys before realizing better of it.
Biscuits.
Barbarian can probably take a little bit of it.
True, but
Yeah,
he's intelligent enough not to do so.
Yeah, she's got tough skin, that's all.
Yeah. Sure, this cat is vicious.
No, he's good.
He's a good boy. Vicious. You can tell that he's eaten some sort of large animal recently. His mouth and front claws are covered in gore.
Oh, here, let's get that nice and clean now.
To be fair, so are ours. It's just garlic sauce.
Yeah, fair enough. As you go to clean it, he like pulls back and starts just like licking it instead.
Mhm.
Kind of doing like the leftovers, like the mustache thing. All right. Ashton Rosalind.
Hmm.
Uh,
And I mean, is there anything they're immediately needed for with like there's?
Oh yeah, there's always stuff you guys could do. You guys are still working on that like week worth of stuff that you just need to get done.
mm-hmm.
At a point, if they're just walking, Ashton might just look over and it's like, so question
Yes.
is. Assuming you're not wanting to maybe rethink the thing that was stated before, which I wouldn't blame you for.
No. No, of course not.
Okay, and I don't mean that. Like, I've got a problem with either. It's just it looks like he's about to throw up for a second.
Should
Um,
reach over and
Too
take
much
his
trauma.
hand and lean against his shoulder.
Emotionally constipated. Give him a minute.
Much more than emotionally. It's all trauma.
Take your
Oh,
He's
time.
just kind
God.
of, he just kind of like takes a breath and leans the head against. Is there any practice or standard or tradition or anything with how you and your family does stuff?
I mean, nothing out of the ordinary. Aside from the potential of, well, politics
Well,
make things a little unusual. It's not the standard, honestly, for most people to approach an individual or their family and ask immediately for hand in marriage. That's.
but that's happened to you twice now?
I don't quite count Sammy as there was intent to, but it never actually was made an official request.
Though there's the social expectation of it.
A bit.
So that's a normal thing, or
Normal depends on where you stand.
okay?
I will say for very particular stations, very particular and often very political arrangements, yes, that would be considered normal, but for most people it would not.
What's your normal?
Hmm. Well, honestly, I grew up somewhat expecting either that or what most people go through. One person asks, formally, with a ring as a token. The other person has a few days to think it over. Typically, they don't take fewer than 3 or more than 5, though outliers and exceptions exist. And then they answer, either returning the ring for a no, giving some other token for a yes but not now, wait, as it were, or giving a ring of their own for a yes. After that, particular plans are made. Oh, I suppose I did skip over one thing. Typically before formally asking, you talk to your partner's next of kin, their closest living family, preferably from the generation before, if that's possible. And you don't quite ask their permission, because that's not exactly theirs to give. But you do inform them of your intentions and ask for their blessing, I suppose, their acceptance.
Hmm. And that said, would that be because we haven't yet? Is that also for the one who would return the
Not
ring as well?
Not necessarily, though it's not uncommon to talk to them, talk to the family before returning the acceptance. Um, it's not as much of a formal part of it. It's not as strongly expected, let's say.
Is it considered a like polite thing?
Somewhat.
Okay.
It's considered a thoughtful thing. Sometimes it's also that person looking for not advice or input, but, well, occasionally talking to someone about something makes it clearer as a course in your mind.
Hmm.
It's like thinking out loud.
I'll be direct with you.
Please do.
I'm just mainly wondering on the prospect of looking your father in the eyes.
I've already talked to him about this, about
Uh,
what I said.
oh,
He was a little surprised, but to be fair, I did wake him up quite early in the morning. Um,
hmm.
but I believe that he understood. It wasn't a long conversation, but he wasn't upset, if that's what you're worried about.
I. It's more what he'd say to me one-on-one than anything. Uh, I'll be honest, I haven't the faintest on any of this, so. Uh, should I go talk to him? Should that be when things are more formal? Should.
I'll say it's not necessary to go talk to him now if you, for any reason, don't want to. But if it would help you, if it would clarify things for you in any way, then I would say to do so.
Look, my thought is the man was probably expecting someone a bit more formal and knowledgeable on things like this.
Hmm. I'd
And
say,
I feel like I'm kind of running around in a dark room in terms of this.
but you're willing to ask questions and willing to learn. I think that's, in a way, better than formal and knowledgeable.
Just nuts. I I think the reason this is hitting me so much is because this is something I'm not confident in.
Hmm.
I I know I can do everything, and I train to do everything I can to protect you, everyone else physically. It's still something that I would be concerned about, but I have something to place confidence in. All the fights we've been in, all the training I've done, all the precaution I've taken. And I move forward assuming all I can do is enough. And this is something I don't know if I'm doing all I can do. This is something I'm not even confident I can do at all. If an enemy gets an in on me, gets a hit, I can turn back, I can retaliate. That's not the end. I If I mess this up, I don't even know where to begin. And I can't really do what I'm confident in myself with to do it.
Honestly, again, I think that you have a good start. You're here talking to me about this. I'll admit that this is going to be something rather new to me as well, but given my understanding of it, given things I've been told, things I've heard, things I've asked about, one of the most important things is this communication. Asking questions, talking about doubts or missteps whenever they occur. We can figure this out.
Okay. I hope so. Other thing, are you? You said there's an exchange of rings.
Yes.
Uh, uh, is the implication that I get one, or is it because you asked first, or?
um, when I brought it up, it was. I'll say that it's also very, very, very uncommon for a proposal formally to be made while the other party is unprepared for it and doesn't expect it to happen. Usually these things are talked about beforehand, which was...
And the offering party is also recovering from a drug trip, but we'll ignore that part right now.
that part was highly unusual, but in all honesty, I'm clear-headed now. I still don't have any doubts. I think that I would regret not making it clear more than I would ever regret doing so.
Just nods. Okay. But seriously, do you get it first? Do I?
It doesn't really matter. There have been situations where the waiting period I mentioned, the pause
Are we
between
in
the
that right
question
now?
and the answer. No, no,
Okay.
because I haven't offered you a ring. I haven't given you a token. If I had, then there would be a waiting period, and then you would have time to think it over. You would have time to prepare any response. Even if that response was, as I said before, to wait, to not give a clear yes or no as of yet. Um, uh, but there have been times when a couple has one person has pulled out a ring and the other has just laughed and pulled out another because both were wanting to ask, and so the waiting period is waived as both were clearly ready and had it in mind.
You know. And the other thing, I guess, it might not be the time for it now, but something to be talked about at another point. Other traditions, because at least for me in the north, I don't know if there was anything quite so formal. It was just I suppose a ring was one of the ways you could, I guess, bring it up. A gift isn't uncommon as a accompaniment, but it's also just kind of a thing that is decided amongst a couple. It's kind of talked about. There's I've seen many of a time where some are just having never gotten around to tying things together, I suppose. And someone's brought it up and they go, well, I guess we should get on that. So again, I'm a bit out of the water on this, but what's further is I don't. I assume wedding and gathering traditions are different
I've
from where you're from.
I've read a few books about traditions in different lands, different cultures. I believe so. Up north there's something with a bonfire, isn't there?
Yes.
I don't know all the details. I just remember the
No,
bonfire
just-
and taking a lantern or a candle. Was it to your new home or?
He is turning slightly red.
Slightly.
To be fair, he's been pretty pale for a good amount of this.
Fair. Out of curiosity, let's give me like a deception check.
He's not hiding it super hard. Hold on.
Is
I
it
feel like it's like-
charisma or is it constitution at this point?
You can swap out your constitution if you'd like. But I feel like his like natural inclination is to quash it down.
Let's just 10.
Would using constitution increase it?
That'd be a +5 to 15.
15? Okay. It's
Sorry,
reasonably... Yeah, it's reasonably hidden, but Rosalind, you have a discerning eye for his blushes, whenever you can get them.
So, am I missing something?
I believe the equivalent would be someone asking, so what's this thing about dresses and living in the same house? I... You bringing up such topics was something I, quite frankly, never thought about, only because I felt I would feel guilty thinking of you thinking about bringing up such things.
I'm happy to think of such things. And to bring them up.
Okay. Okay. Like I said, we can discuss things like that another time, but I do think there might be some incongruities, and that might need to be addressed at some point. That's all. He starts walking.
We've got a little time. We can sit down and discuss this more exactly. In the interest of clarity, though, I will confess that I do want to go down and look around in Lucerne, partly because I want to see if there's any particular rings available that would speak to me.
He just kind of pauses and it's like,
For the sake of preparation.
I-
Since we're on the topic. And then she'll kind of tug on his arm and keep walking.
You're talking to a man who has a bolt for every creature out there. Of course I was going to go down there and buy something just in case.
It's completely a fair point, honestly.
It is. Alright.
It's a frisbee.
Finishing with a ring. What?
It's just a ring!
You know those like things that you used to throw a frisbee for dogs?
Sorry, just put this buy this long thing in the shape of a ring. You mean a ring?
Well, actually, no. Devin, you remember the ring, the ring blades that the dude from Berserk has?
Hmm.
I could see those.
Why always bros? So stop.
Buy a dagger the length of the length of a sword. You mean a sword?
Technically, a long dagger was a thing.
Mm.
Anyhow, I'm good on that. I don't think I need to talk to anybody else as Rosalind, so...
Alright. Is Ashta going to go to the Duke?
He might stare at his door for a bit.
In the 4 hours, does he make it there?
Where does she go?
Are you rolling charisma?
I'm rolling wisdom to see how much he can muster himself.
That's fair. What do you want to call it, DC 15?
Call it a DC 15. I think that's fair.
That's what I should feel like with DC 20, but you know.
If it's a check, it's 15.
It's 15. If it's a check.
Constitution.
Wrong one.
Misclick.
Wrong.
Oh,
Quick, the other one.
I think it might be
yeah.
lower.
nope.
Oh, excellent. I was hoping that would be the answer. So-
Amazing.
So I like to imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, but Ashton kind of gets to the door, spends about like 30 seconds, and like goes to turn in his heel.
Yep.
Bumps right into the Duke as he walks away. Hello, Ashton. You can see he has this look of immediate expectation on his face, and this almost playful grin.
Someone play like a violin screech and a record scratch at the same time. Also, maybe a glass shattering sound.
Hold on, I gotta find it.
Wrong music.
Dun, dun, dun,
John, wrong music. Wrong music. We have
Alright.
amazing plans.
So he looks at you, Ashton, and just goes, "Hello, my young friend, my good and royal guard."
All the colors.
Motherfucker looks like a cinnamon heart. Do you have something to tell me?
I was in the middle of typing it.
From my understanding, you've already been informed.
I've been informed of a great many things over the past few days. Which one would you be referring to?
I suppose I would have to ask you to clarify your question first.
Well, you look like you came to my door. Apparently you turned around, assuming because you didn't see that I was... No, you saw that I was home and didn't answer the door. So, now that I'm here and you have me, please, what were you so eager to tell me? I'm gonna turn down Sky just a little bit. Oh, it's been a while since I got a good cackle out of her.
I'm gonna turn Devin up just a bit because Ash is being quiet.
I've got him maxed.
I'm gonna cry.
If you're feeling nervous about it, I can ask your little pocket friend if you'd like.
The eyes like go, and it's like, I would request that not happen.
Oh, please, would you like to come and sit down for tea? I was about to brew myself a pot.
How can I say no?
Oh, I don't think you can. And he puts a hand like on the back of your neck. It's not a powerful grip, but the weight of your own stress makes it feel like it has a gravity to
The
it.
sins are crawling on his back.
Indeed. You can feel this like warmth through the armor. You're not sure if it's because you're overheating or because he is just terrifyingly cold that it feels hot, or if it's just inside your head. As
Let's go with all
like,
three as he walks in.
he guides you down and roll me a perception check as you walk in.
Oh boy.
Perception. 13. He's not feeling great.
That's okay. It's enough because you're kind of good at picking things out like this, picking out suspicious clues, in a room. You can see kind of thrown about, laying a bit, slightly hidden behind a pillow, but not from a huge amount. There is a small sketchbook and a not very skilled, but a very passionate drawing of Rosalind in a very fine dress with a big smile on her face, from the perspective of someone else putting a ring on her hand, with little happy tears falling down her face. Just sitting in a little notebook, hidden away in a bit. He smiles and sits you down for the pot of tea, begins to get it going, kind of letting you simmer as he just waits for it to boil and busies himself around the room cleaning up. At one point, you see him kind of tuck away the notebook, trying to be discreet, but your passive is enough to notice it. Just kind of waiting for you to speak up.
I didn't know you practiced the arts.
Practice a good many arts. A sophisticated man has to turn his hand wherever he can, and I'll admit it's been a while since I've done it, but I took a bit of joy in it when I was younger.
Sorry, just a fucking chat.
Oh, yeah, I know.
He pulls out a shotgun.
Yep. So he kind of pours the tea into a cup for you, nudges the sugar, honey, and milk for you to pour yourself. He goes, it's chamomile for calming of the nerves. So, how you feeling, son? You feeling alright? And you know Rosalind's looks enough to know that he is yanking your fucking chain.
Rosalind told you, right? She wasn't joking with me on that and having me walk into a horrible trap right now.
I speak to Rosalind on the regular. Again, which one do you mean? You have to forgive me, I'm getting old. You have to spell it out for me.
Something along the lines of what was in that sketchbook.
Oh, what sketchbook are you speaking of? I heard you, good artist. One that you'd like to show me?
Jake said, the one behind. He points to wherever the Duke put it.
Yep. He kind of looks at it and opens it. And you see him kind of pull it out and say, like, oh, please tell me which image you're speaking of.
I assume the most recent one.
So as you kind of open the book and go to it, you see it's actually not the most recent one. You see that there are quite a number of drawings. One of you in a fine suit of metal, kind of mixed in with armor. Another one of a kind of hairpiece filled with those glass marbles from the rose forest. All the swirling patterns kind of mixing together, going down alongside her hair. A third one of Rayla and Thorn being tiny little ring bearers.
He just kind of like flips there and it's like, you've put a lot of thought into this.
I had
Respect.
yes. Ever since you two came to me with the at the feast, it's been going through my mind, and I've had a lot of time on my hands recently to get to see you guys enjoy each other's company. So please, what is it you came to speak to me about, Rashta?
I suppose my first one was wondering of approval and not, and that being the case when it's simply
Ashta,
you and me. But
I'm sure you've been around my daughter long enough to know that I am not letting you get out of this without telling me precisely what you're asking permission and approval for. You can take your time with it, but you're not leaving until you do it. And you will get no answer from me until you do either.
my goodness, you've created your own torture when the whole time she was growing up, hasn't you? She takes
She didn't
after
just,
you so much.
she didn't just get it from the Fey blood. I've simply been stressed you may not have got to see the side of me much in the past few months.
Nuts. I was wondering of the approval of the, I suppose, intent, if that's the proper term, of courting and or marriage.
He kind of sits down and kind of picks up your hand and takes it in his with a handshake and just go. I believe that you would be an excellent partner for her, as I've expressed my approval before. That being said, I need to make sure that you are certain of this. I know that she is quite prone to maybe not getting what she wants, but well, ending up with it no matter what. No coercion intentionally, of course, but she's convincing what she wants it to be. So I ask you, as someone who would like to think of you as, at least hopefully in the near future, a son, are you certain of this?
He kind of like lowers his eyes for a sec. So the only uncertainty I have is if I'm able to keep myself alive to make the whole thing worth it.
I do believe that she's not going to give you a choice in the matter, but I do understand your concern. That being said, I'm sure if you were to be indisposed to such an extreme degree, she would forgive you if you postponed the wedding. Though I think she'll be damned if she doesn't get you back somehow. And if both of you pass, well, I have a number of clerics that I'm quite familiar with. And I will make sure I get to see this. So
No,
if that
it's
is your biggest concern, just know you have more than just each other's support for this.
one other. I suppose it's just I suppose this is a bit of a proper asking for approval.
Go ahead.
If this were to be something we were to commit to properly and fully, I do think it would be something I'd like to commit my heart and soul to, rather literally.
As you should.
That said, I understand there might be a bit of discrepancy between that of a human woman and one that's a shaved piece of an angelic force. I don't mean this to limit me, I simply would like to ask if you're fully okay with me potentially causing quite a havoc among planes.
I don't believe anything I could say or do would ever be able to stop you from causing havoc upon the plains. In fact, you causing havoc upon the plains, I'm pretty sure, is keeping thousands of people alive right now.
I mean one that is for selfish reasons of being able to see your daughter in the afterlife.
Well, you'll have to take that up with whatever death god you terror from. I'll
I
be
just
gone.
I just want to make sure you're okay with me doing that.
Ashta, I will be likely long dead, and I do not deign to dip my toes into forbidding you from whatever you two agree upon. What happens in the afterlife is none of my business. You two are adults. You two are quite powerful beings of magic. I'm sure you can figure that out on your own.
He smiles like the same would be true for marriage, but I suppose you ask anyways, don't you?
Exactly. So, know that you have my approval to make whatever decision feels right. I ask that you don't leave too much death and destruction in your wake, but you do what you must as a guard.
Even regardless of her personal moral leanings, which is very against that, I think it honestly not the most efficient means of assuring certain objectives. So, twofold there.
Good. Then, I believe you can count that as approval.
He kind of smiles and nods, a bit of a weight off his shoulder.
Yep.
Okay.
He kind of grips your hand tighter and almost picks you up with his own strength for a second, and across the table pulls you into this hug.
He'll pause for a second, then return.
I do have one thing I request, though.
Knowing your daughter, I am horrified.
Don't make the wedding the first time I get to interact with whoever she has to ask approval from.
Oh, dear gods.
I just want to meet them once first, so we have good conversation.
Oh
Go.
no.
So far, Esther's father has been excellent, so I can't imagine yours. Being
He just kind of like pats his shoulder and like pulls the hug back slightly and just. You're okay with me being rough around the edges, right?
Frankly, I don't see you as that rough around the edges. I've seen what happens when you try to shave. It's just part of who you are.
You know what I mean.
I believe I can be polite long enough as a politician. I'm quite practiced in it. Even if I don't like the man, I'm sure I can deal with it. I just don't want it to be the first time at the wedding.
Nods. This is just. He's not. He's not a cruel or mean individual or anything by any means. Just.
Or I trust if they were anyone of unrefined to a degree that is not acceptable, that you would have extricated yourself from interaction with them much sooner.
Mm,
If they still have your approval and your love, I'm sure they're good enough for me.
Nuts. I suppose it's just a way for my own worries to go. Oh, well, he's fully given permission from me, but what about this one?
Well, I don't have to like him. I just want to meet him. I kind of want to know what brought you to where you are. I have an idea of what brought her where she is, although God knows apparently I missed some things. So I'm quite curious uh, of the stock that you come from, I suppose.
Nuts. Have you talked to Carson on the ship? You have, right?
I have. He's fascinating, to put it politely.
Just
It's not
know that.
Carthen, is it?
No, just
Okay,
know
good.
it. Know it's a portion of what brought me to where I am.
In that case, I'm very curious where the spontaneity went after it went to you, because it did not stay.
There's a few others who are no longer here to answer that.
I suspected as much. We all have our own. I suppose skeletons in the closet is a poor turn of phrase, but I don't know a better one. Your past is your past, and I will not pry. But I just want to know who my equivalent is.
Nods. I can do that, and perhaps another day I can let you know the rest.
We'll have lots of time, I'm sure.
Nods.
So, go. Enjoy your gallivanting and whisking her off her feet, as I'm sure you do often. Though if you leave that tea undrunk, I will be mildly offended.
Oh.
It turns back, drinks it, still black.
You actually, as you drink it, it's way sweeter than it was. You hear a slight giggle from Rayla.
It just coughs.
He smiles. She wasn't invisible. I just wanted to see you drink it.
Oh, that is. I feel my teeth falling out. Like,
It's honey.
ugh.
She can't even lift a spoonful. It's very large. It wasn't very much.
Don't be such a baby.
Such a baby.
Don't be such a baby.
Also, if your teeth do fall out, I'm sure you have some sort of magic voodoo for that.
I'd rather not go through the experience, though.
Yeah, teeth are useful.
Conrad, get out of the Duke.
Never say that to me again.
Get the Sonder out of my Duke.
Oh god.
He was saying that having teeth is useful.
No, you said the phrase "teeth are useful."
They are.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
He
You
was
know what?
implying in your head, you fool.
We've been friends.
Conrad, I'm gonna tell you right now, Chief. Didn't like that. Didn't like
Here's the
that
thing.
one bit.
Y'all are the ones with pre-images of what's the word? Prejudices against me saying things that are normal.
Yeah.
They may be
You know
well
what?
founded. They may be well founded, but I can play characters who aren't like that. You guys are interpreting it wildly.
Just Conrad. You may be right, but still, that touches my mental no-no zone.
Your no-no zone is your business. You're the one who like pushed the no-no zone there.
John, I fucking hate that phrase.
that touches me in my mental no-no square. I don't like that.
If we re-roll,
No, that being said, you guys might interpret it weirdly. That's your choice.
Can you please keep this going?
To continue, in your mouth, right?
What else would I be talking about?
Sorry, I wanted to continue.
Just if you need a aspect for scrying upon me, just let me know beforehand.
Ashta, with as much manners as I can muster, what the hell are you talking about?
Never mind. Never mind at all.
I'm so curious to meet this figure of yours.
He's my uncle.
Uncle, I'm very excited to meet him, as I'm fascinated what's wrong with his teeth now.
We saw whatnot.
He has
No!
he has better dental hygiene than you would expect. I'll say that.
I didn't expect it to be bad. What is it with you and teeth? You're right.
Oh god. Oh god.
Oh,
This is canon now.
Do you have some
No.
teeth
Ash has a
related trauma
weird
that I have to be
obsession
aware
with teeth
of?
now.
No, we whacked the DM with a fly swatter, and the DM took it away and started hitting back.
Yep.
Yeah, don't hit with fly swatter. Just because is there some teeth related trauma that I should know about? Are those dentures?
Shakes his head.
Oh my
Okay.
Just the Druid Society has some odd things to it. I saw a man's leg get chopped off for food resources.
What?
Does this have to do
Inefficient.
That's
The
that's
ghouls.
canon. That happened.
inefficient?
The
Yeah, that's
ghouls.
canon, but like, ugh.
That was in a coin tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just I
I
shall assume there's context there, but
the
another day.
the kind of things we do changes perspective slightly. That's all.
I'm sure your stories later on in life will be wonderful, and I cannot wait to hear them, but I feel like you have other business to attend to.
No, it's also one last thing. Can you
Please?
promise me at some point to interrogate Rosalind for details on the things that she was playing down once upon a time to you?
I'm sure I can try, though I'm not sure it will succeed. In fact, I'm sure you being there will help me get those out of her.
He nods. Yeah, I was about to offer.
Good, as I'm quite curious, though, I'll trust your discretion as to things that I may not want to be told.
Nods. Yeah, I can think of one.
If you want to go back on the guard's payroll to inform me, I will I'll do that. I'm not sure it matters much to you at this point, the castle and everything, but if you want to take up that mantle again,
How do you mean?
well, it wouldn't be unusual for a father to pay a guard to inform of his daughter's missteps and dangers she exposes herself to.
Are you bribing me for blackmail on your daughter?
Jokingly, yes.
I see exactly where she gets it now.
I hope so.
Have a good day.
I worked very hard on it. Have a good day. Thank you, tea.
Professional snitch.
Tell me that.
As you close the door, you can hear the briefest of just like barely restrained chuckles.
And then the hand goes in and grabs the fairy and goes back out the door.
she just. Oh no, it was definitely from the Duke.
Yeah, no, but the fairy was in there.
Oh no, she went back in your pocket.
Okay.
She kind of looks at you like. You seemed like you needed to. No, I can't say that out loud. Never mind. that was DM deciding better of myself.
he goes, wow, you're learning. And grabs her in the shirt.
Look, she's so sweet. Need to learn how to handle her.
The boom.
I'm
Just
right. All right. With that debauchery, would Esther like to get up to anything?
I was gonna, but I don't.
Head empty.
No, head not empty, but I don't want to take up some. I don't know.
You could save it for another session if you'd like.
I want to propose the idea of something now. That's the thing. Not do it. Just bring up the idea.
I'm asking in character if there's anything Esther would like to do. What is she up to for the 4 hours of journey?
She would probably was gonna go find Xenia, saw the battle and war that was happening in the kitchen, turned right around and left.
Xenia's just looking. Xenia, if you want to talk to Xenia, you can. Xenia's just paying attention to Pierre.
Yep, if it's at the beginning, it's before they actually got into the actual cooking portion too. So
We're in preparation.
She kind of looks and just about to go to war.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer, Esther. You're saying this through Fane.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is through Fane.
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Fair enough. I wish you best of luck. And go find Gareel and Jade. I'm curious.
All right. You can find Pierce first, as he's probably separate from the other two. Kind of, you see he's slimmed down a bit, but he's packed on like a decent amount of muscle in the past couple weeks. He's getting to a bit more of the less the baby fat stages of being a dragon. Looks like, as well as having a very nice supply of dwarven forged metal for a good diet. But with that, you can find Jade and Gareel, kind of both meditating in a Jade kind of sitting in lotus pose inside of Gareel sitting in a lotus pose, where she's like in his lap. Hers is very sloppy, and she's at like a 30-degree angle as she's just kind of like halfway asleep on his arm. But it's cute.
Bruh, it's like the armadillo all over again.
A little bit.
Just like a moment of deja vu. Just odd. Anyways, and she'll kind of come in, sit down.
He kind of, as you come in, he nods to you and checks to see if Jade's awake. Jade opens one eye and nods to him.
I see we're all in agreement then.
I always feel nervous agreeing to something before you tell me what it is.
It was a joke. I
Okay,
nodded. You nodded. She nodded.
The two of them kind of nod in synchronicity again. We're chilling.
We're vibing.
Yeah, they're chilling.
Speaking of acceptance, I wanted to ask you something.
Go ahead.
It's simply the proposition of an idea.
Huh. Should I get out my notebook or?
Not that kind of idea.
Oh, okay. You see him take his head out of the duat.
I understand that we have both traveled a great deal, and we have seen different cultures and understood their customs in a way that only a person who has traveled is capable of doing so.
Yes.
And whatever sense of this word sits with you, that will be the one I accept. Does that make sense?
I'm sure it will once you finish the last sentence.
Do you have thoughts on marriage?
Passing. As a social construct or as a general intent? Because I have passed thoughts of both, to be clear.
As an intent.
As an intent? I've thought about it. I think, we should be patient with it, considering past events. But I'm comfortable with the idea, at least.
Okay, alright.
If you're in some sort of rush before you head into a big battle, I have heard of wonders of the ceremony spell the week before a powerful encounter. I hear it's actually very useful, but
No. This will be something for far later.
it's on your mind.
Well, several things, truly. I don't believe I ever told you what happened the last time I indulged in the blue eye ceremony. I don't believe I ever told you.
You've had you've mentioned passing aspects in conversation, and I can assume some of the things that have happened. So if you'd like to leave it there, we can. But I welcome you to speak your mind too.
I realize that everything comes to an end. That there's a finality to everything, no matter how hard we try to prevent things. And I want to fill every single moment with as much as I possibly can. not to say to overload myself, that's not what I mean, but
To make the most of it.
exactly, to enjoy every moment, even if it's just this. And she gestures to the quiet room and just the three of them.
He nods, and arguments on the periodic nature of life notwithstanding, I agree.
Mind you, I've died and come back once already. I would prefer not to do it again until I'm ready. I've lost years of my life only to get them all back, and it just makes you think.
Of course. But that's also why I would ask that we sit on it. As, contemplation is a powerful thing, at least for me. It's part of what I find peaceful meditating. The idea of considering, of thinking something through, of tasting the theory of it, predicting. I find it almost as valuable as the act itself. And though we may only get to experience marriage and life once, there is some joy to be had in thinking about the other mildly different scenarios, the mildly different lifetimes, and savoring it. And if we never get there, we never get there, but why not enjoy it as much as we can, on this side and the other side of marriage, as I'm sure we'll get there eventually.
Again, I'm in no rush. I
Good.
was just curious. Ash, Rosalind, they
Oh.
have to finally break
Oh,
the
finally.
and Rosalind coming down, she happened to speak about it, and they seem to have finalized things almost. It was just something that I suppose I'd been thinking of for a while.
Hold on. Sammy also mentioned Xenia had a brief conversation about this with them. Did you all come out of that drug trip thinking about marriage?
No, it was more so about, I believe. Yeah, I was gonna say, more so about finality, about acceptance, and things like that. I just sort of made things realize. I think it broke down a lot of fears, I suppose, if that makes any sort of sense.
It does. I've been a while since I did the ceremony myself, but its effects and situations are noteworthy, and of a fascinating field of psychology that I'm not going to get into right now.
Just made me think. I'd like to marry you in whatever concept you are comfortable with.
He kind of smiles and scoops up Jade into one arm and presses his lips against her cheek. And so, tentative hypothesis?
Tentative hypothesis.
Good.
Also, what
'Cause-
do you mean finally? We spent years, Kirill!
And I was patient for a number of reasons. As I said, I like to contemplate. And, savor it. Have I ever mentioned what sort of fiend I'm descended from?
No, I don't believe so.
I am, despite my patience, descended from an incubus, my dear. Discipline.
I am suing. I am suing.
Oh my god.
What just happened? I just heard a laughing from
Guriel is descended from an incubus.
Oh.
I am not
Yeah.
a product.
Okay, yeah, that
Be
explains the unholy
Oh, wait.
screeching.
Stewie, what's my one?
Be clear.
That's why I said I'm suing.
Get over it.
Get
laughing-
over it.
The laughing isn't in character. The laughing isn't in
Oh no, I
character.
know. I'm going up to Devin.
This
He
is
goes.
me.
To be clear, it's distant. Technically, it's from a Cambrian, from an incubus, but you know, the idea and thinking about it is pleasant, let's say. Just as you find comfort in flames and heat and being around a hearth, I feel like it's a similar experience, at least from my research states. Thinking about love and affection and intimacy is soothing.
Sorry, why did you have to add the intimacy bit on the end of it?
Descended from an incubus. Also, consider the shit that Esther says sometimes. You cannot blame me there.
I know, but holy fuck, I did not anticipate this. It shot me point blank.
You're welcome.
Okay, that wasn't okay. She's gonna kind of look and just. So you find knowledge sexy?
No, I mean, yes, but that's separate from the sentence thing. I just, smart people are attractive. I'm sorry, I can't get. That's how it is.
Oh, well, shit.
He kind of looks at you and just. You were a psionic who turned into a wizard after they died. And you're helping defeat an interplanar war. At the very least, you're clever.
I can't argue with that.
Precisely. But
Where's your
yes.
logic?
I hear I'm quite good at that. But yes. I believe some people call think of like your meditative mind palaces. It's a similar sort of thing. Where the idea of it is relaxing. It's calming. It feels natural to be thinking about it. Of affection, love, and what makes the heart race in all forms. Of another person. Bit of clickety-clacker there, John.
Oh, sorry.
I will be completely honest. Your demeanor would never have led me to believe that you are transcendent of an incubus. An imp, perhaps, considering the things that we used to get up to in our youth, but
Being a cleric is a wonderful facet of control. And thankfully the urges are not particularly strong in me. But yes, I tend to latch on to people emotionally and have very little desire to let go. As I'm sure you've noticed by now.
I have no qualms with that in the slightest.
Good. Now, I'm feeling quite warm under the collar. So would you like to study for a bit?
You sure that's not gonna make it worse?
I don't think study is the
I
key
would
word.
like to clarify. If it was not specific enough, it doesn't turn him on. It's genuinely relaxing for him.
Study buddies. It is the word study goes first before buddies.
Thank you.
Conrad, honey, I know that that's what that actually means, but goddamn, is it funny to think?
Oh, absolutely.
the
I just want to clarify to make sure I'm being clear.
Do you find the librarians sexy?
Oh,
I'm
Conrad's,
typing something in names that I'm not saying out loud.
Conrad's Tuesday character definitely does.
To be fair, I've played a librarian and dated a librarian in Tuesday. So I'm not sure which one you're referring to.
Yes.
Oh fuck, okay, she's gonna kind of look and just study how?
Study. As in you have a bunch of books of knowledge from an underwater civilization that I'm desperately curious to read with you.
Kinky.
Jade just kind of looks up to you and goes, kinky.
No!
You reap what you sow.
She's just gonna kind of look and just. She doesn't need to know the meaning of that one yet. Alright, and she'll pull out the books.
She kind of smiles and goes, you were thinking the meaning. And she just smiles.
Oh no. Oh
Great
no.
thoughts, remember that.
Oh no.
I was gonna say she could just pull the definition from your head.
Yeah, but also, at the same time, does she
She doesn't comprehend what it means.
That's what I mean.
But she's seen the dictionary definition and just goes, oh, cool.
That's fine. Just as long as she doesn't have the comprehensive ability to actually.
Gabriel just kind of puts his hand in her cheek and just like, so let's distract ourselves so she can't read our minds.
I'm completely fine with that.
He kind of narrows his eyes like, seriously, whatever you're thinking of right now, please make sure it's not something that you don't want her to be reading.
Nope, it's a white wall. That's all I'm thinking about. It's a completely white wall. Now pull out the book.
He sighs and just, it's in your bag of holding, but sure. And he reaches in the bag of holding and pulls out the holy book from the temple and begins going through with you and kind of talking about the history that he's managed to scrounge up of the underwater civilization of the Genasi. Also, go ahead and just roll me a raw intelligence check for like directing your mind where you want to. The Fane will automatically assist you with this, so you can have advantage.
Jesus fucking Christ, okay.
Because I'm just curious what you'll roll here. How bad is Esther at this? Okay, you are. It already rolled advantage. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, ignore that.
You do an excellent job of keeping yourself on track, and you do actually, between discussions with him, come up with a few interesting theories of how the culture of the religion in question reflected somehow the downfall of the society, how it had this value on the magic that only people underwater could produce, and how that was a cultural identity thing for them. It's very interesting to read through, and it is genuinely a cultural touchstone that you think probably very few other historians would ever get the chance to see and even consider without this book.
Nice. Very satisfied.
With that, I believe that's everyone and what they get up to for the 4 hours of the trip.
Jesus Christ!
Ow.
You okay?
I whacked my hand on the edge of my desk trying to bring it up. I just didn't see where the edge of my desk was.
Oh.
I'm okay.
Alright, so with that, we'll take a quick 2-minute break until quarter to the hour.
Jesus Christ.
Grab any water, use the washroom if you need to, and we'll be right back.
I'm near tears. I did not expect that. Oh, am I muted?
Mm,
Oh, here.
some people are. Some people have.
I did not expect a lot of things this evening, my friend.
Yep.
It's wow. Also your child has been around the general vicinity of Xenia. She knows what the word means.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. She's gonna know what a lot of words means. It's just the thing is too. I'm curious to test how far you have to be from her, and if certain things like walls create like a decent enough barrier.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna send these videos to people.
I think one session, not a whole session, but like a small portion of a session, is just testing Baby Day, where we figure out the limits of Jade's abilities, because that needs to be figured out soon.
At the very least, that's one of the things done early in the epilogue.
I like to imagine that Esther gets her a tinfoil hat. She stops reading minds.
If it works, it works. Okay? It works.
There's one.
The hell are you sending these Devon Ty? I'm terrified.
What the fuck is he saying? I want to see.
Oh, it's a spoiler.
I'm just waiting for my turn. What the hell am I gonna get sent?
You wouldn't get it.
I'm just.
Did you send it to our real time?
Yeah, I did.
I can't
Okay.
watch it yet.
Oh, God.
Is something relevant to this campaign?
Phones.
Oh,
No.
I hope
No.
not.
Okay. I was like, hold on a second.
Fucking I
What
hope.
do I not know about my own campaign?
Oh gosh.
Many things. No.
While
Plotting shit with
true,
cousins and that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Alright.
I almost forgot my mouse again.
Conrad, I'm gonna submit a note to you, and that's it. Let's keep going.
all right.
You
So
know we're
everyone
going-
good to go?
Now we're going to Lucerne.
Yeah.
Senior totally forgot their parents lived in Lucerne.
Yeah.
Wait, I have the headband until like Zia didn't. Ty didn't tell us like very moment.
Okay. I mean, you can still forget things.
Oh, I know, but my thing is like if I forget something out of character, I usually will forget it in character.
Hey, sorry, just a thing that I'm curious about. What's your lowest saving throw?
Technically still intelligence.
But like, what number is it?
It was a +1, it's a +5 now.
So your lowest saving throw is a +5. Awesome. I love that.
I was scared of feeble mind, so I needed a little bit of an intelligence boost.
Oh, that's fair. I just had the thought of like, hold on. Strength bonus, relatively high dexterity, constitution bonus, intelligence bonus, wisdom and charisma proficiency. Hold on a second.
What aren't you good at?
I have a strength save of +8, dex +10, con +6, intelligence +5, wisdom +12, charisma +7.
Yeah,
And
she's-
those are probably going to be improved in the next few sessions.
Yep. All right.
That's what I want to do.
For Ariel, for the sake of expediency, I was assuming that was done as part of the diplomacy you guys were doing,
Sounds
kind of
good.
getting those things right.
Sounds good. Okay.
Yeah, I'm basically leaving any peace talk stuff until all this preamble is wrapped up.
Good.
Yeah, I'm basically assuming it's getting done in the background.
Yes.
Because there's a lot, and I don't want to force you to. I'm not going to punish you for forgetting one of them.
Okay.
So, might as well start happening. So, as you guys arrive at Lucerne, probably after having a. Actually, you guys might not even need a lunch after that fucking shawarma.
Breakfast
That
shawarma?
was our lunch.
No, it was like.
Like an
It was
8
brunch. It was brunch. It was 10 a.m.
Xenia fed
What?
us.
No, it was 9 a.m. Never mind.
Xenia fed us a gourmet breakfast before that.
And then
Yeah,
an
you
hour later.
To be fair, good practice before you get tattoos.
True.
So, as you guys get to Lucerne, and quite a few people seem to want to disembark and enjoy the city for a while, as most of them have been in the warmth of the desert for a good amount of time, and being up north, the dwarves are a bit more comfortable with.
Well, still.
Um,
Got that.
So, I'm going to assume the first duo would be Esther and Xenia heading to the tattoo parlor.
Is Fervis coming?
First, are you going to go with them, or are you going to do the... Because you already have your tattoo because of the needle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Do you need to do anything in Lucerne? Any magic items you want to go look for? Anything you just want to do in the city?
Nope.
All right.
you open up part
How
of it.
would
Ideally, I'd like to work on the boom cannon, but that's about it.
If we get through everyone else and you have not jumped down to do something else, we'll do that.
Yeah, sounds good.
So, Xenia and Esther, you two kind of disembark, and does anyone else want to go with them, or is it just those two?
Hang out for a bit. Get some tatties.
Rosalind and Ashton are heading down into Lucerne. Rosalind isn't going to go for the tattoos, though. So,
Same with Ash. So.
He's gonna like faint Rosalind and just go, I think you're... Are you going for rings?
I'm going
Eyebrows,
to look.
Ooh. Tell me what you find. I'm interested.
Sammy?
Elves don't give rings, but I may give a ring. I could give a really cool knife, too.
I'll feign you images.
Oh, you're great.
a knife would be way cooler, just saying.
Maybe like a nice paperweight as well with it. You find any cool and beveled paperweights, too.
Beveled paper.
Elves get useful stuff. For each
I know.
other, 'cause it's, I don't know.
I'll see if there's any particularly fancy office equipment that may be useful.
Oh, you're one of my best friends, but you already knew that, but like... Yes,
Ah.
thank
The language of romance. Off equipment.
if there's an abacus that has gems on it, I don't fucking know.
That would be really cool, actually.
I know, right?
The jeweled abacus.
So, as you guys make your way to the tattoo parlor for your guy,
Yes.
um,
My cello.
yep, you step in the room, and if you would like to describe your tattoo artist to the rest of the party, John, practice still.
The person looks definitely gender neutral, definitely. As many elves are. They have like this like long-ish, slicked back, like silver hair. Looks very clearly like a moon elf. Is sort of dressed similar to how Xenia dresses in that way of like sleeveless stuff. Stuff's a bit open. The shop is actually like kind of warm. It has a bit of climate control going on. and they are just fucking covered in tattoos of different styles, different things. You can see an entire like half arm is dedicated to how the drow were sort of cast off with Lolth into the Underdark, and while the upper part is more the Feywild sort of thing. And there's a couple like elementals sort of like on the collarbone. There on the right collarbone there's a fire and air elemental, and on the other collarbone there is an earth and water one. And this person just looks badass. Definitely more tattoos from last time Xenia saw them.
Yep.
But just fucking covered and just chilling. Just chilling.
And as you kind of enter, they nod to both of you and Xenia. Been a while.
Art, my man, my person.
They kind of gesture you to come over there, and as you get closer, they stick their finger to hit you directly in the forehead.
What?
Why do I get the feeling that you have art that I have not created?
I got impulsive in Lentiel like 6 months ago and had a lot of money because I had, yeah. So I moved out.
Are you both getting tattoos today?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll make sure I make it extra painful for you, Xenia.
Oh, I hate and love you, but at least they look cool. They're like more godly symbols. Yours are cooler, don't worry. And I got a rose!
Do you have a design in mind?
I want to probably add on to that rose there, yeah.
Alright, here.
And some extra little flair. I need a little bit more of that dodgy stuff. Need some dexterity boost if you have the stuff.
Why are you talking about it like it's drugs? It's a normal magical enhancement.
Shh, art, buddy, art.
They raise an eyebrow as you shush them in their own shop.
You know I love you.
You know I have needles that are dull that I can use, right?
Yeah, but this one's not my girlfriend this time, so there won't be any of that enjoyment of seeing me in pain. Oh, that opened up way too.
It's purely for my own sadistic joy for you cheating on me and going to another artist.
And you do this to my father as well?
Does your father go to another artist? What's the deal with going to another artist?
Your father has never been foolish enough to go somewhere else. And for your sake, sorry, I never got your name.
Esther.
Esther. Call me Art. Xenia's family, most of them have been, if they have tattoos, have gotten them from me. As I am a rather well-known elven tattoo artist, I do it in a relatively traditional way. That being said, I can do the same for you. If you'd like to get it done quickly, I can have my apprentice work with you. They're quite skilled, I assure you.
I have traditional tattoos as well, and she'll turn around and kind of lift up the back of her shirt just to show the tattoos that go up her spine.
Ooh. Genasi.
They're done by the elders, yes.
Excellent. I assume you don't want me to get in the way of these, right?
I would prefer the placement on my thigh, if that's okay.
Excellent. And will you be having a magical enhancement as well?
Yes, I believe so.
Alright, for that I will ask you to pay the gold up front, as they give you a very stern look, Xenia.
I
And
paid up front the last time, buddy.
And with the expediency, there will be an extra cost. I hope you understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get the designs worked out, and we will get the tattoo going.
Yep.
What's
So
the
as you guys...
cost, just so I know?
I got
So-
party loot open.
So the baseline cost of the materials for the both of you together is 4,400.
Mhm.
For the actual tattoo work itself is another 1,000.
Mhm.
You can tip as you would like, but with the combined cost, it'll be a total of 5,400.
Okay, I can just mark off party loot if that's okay with everyone.
Oh, I was just going to take it out of mine. It's okay.
You have that much on you?
I have 8 grand on me.
Esther carries a shit ton of money, y'all.
I just waste all my money.
Yeah, you can take it out of party loot. I sell and buy things like constantly. I
Okay.
sell so much shit, yo.
So you would take out 27 and I would take out 27 from here.
Yeah,
He might actually charge you 28 and charge her 26.
Fuck, that's great.
I'm tipping. How much is like an appropriate tip?
Typically that's done after you see the work, so up to you.
Conrad, no, that doesn't help me. Like, I don't know what's
I know.
acceptable. Like, it's,
So if you're talking real life standards, 10 to 20% is like minimum.
okay. Shit, and you said so 220.
So
2,600 plus
you're paying a total of 2,600. 20% would be an extra 420 gold.
paying a total of 2,600.
So you guys could
Okay.
both do about 3,000 and have an appropriate tip each.
Okay.
So because you tip your fucking tattoo artists, anyone who's listening,
Yep.
all three of you. 'Cause, goddamn, yeah, just tip your artists. So he kind of, or not he, they sit you down as you guys finish paying up. I would trust you guys to mark it off your sheet.
Yep.
They ask basically, do you want them to work on both of you, or do you want the apprentice to get it done quicker, basically?
I'm fine with taking the time.
Yeah, we have a bit of Zine's probably gonna faint. Everyone just go, how much time are we willing to spend here?
Fein back probably overnight, so we can set out early in the morning for your last vestige.
Oh, okay, cool. Do you guys want to be dropped off with Orion?
There's a
Or
little
no?
Fein beep.
Dial tone.
Rosalind feigns Ashta. Are you guys going to Orion's or not? I need to make sure you guys are like, we can figure this out. Rosalind hung up on me.
Wait, you mean Xenia Fane, Sasha?
Yeah, didn't I say that?
You said
No,
Rosalind.
you said Rosalind.
Oh, yeah, Xenia. Fuck.
By the way, it would be an excellent like power move. Like, no, you fucking train Ashta.
Right. Basically, for the sake of character stuff, out of character, I kind of want Rosalind to run into Orion, but she's not actively looking for him.
Oh, you want to run? You want to run? Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So basically, the sum of it is you guys have until basically get back in the morning and you're fine. As
Yeah.
long as you're ready to go.
Yeah, slow's good. If
Alright.
you don't mind me trancing in here if it goes really late.
Yeah, go for it. If you want to do so while I work on Esther, we'll probably take about 4 hours. So,
I have enough pillows.
all right. We have a little room on the side if you need to as well.
Nice. You're so nice to me.
I have to be. You pay me. So,
Hmm.
you see as they kind of pull out. At first, it looks like a pine cone out of a small drawer. And as they kind of crack open the bristles, they take this kind of like central stalk of it and take the end and press their fingers against it, and it instantly sharpens. And they pull out these small pots of ink made inside what looks like small tortoise shells and set them out on the counter, each one the tortoise shell the color of the ink inside of it. They wave a hand and a magical copy of the art they made appears on your thigh, and they help you kind of position it, shape it, and get that going almost like a live feed. And once it's confirmed, you basically they take the pine cone and they set this little creature. It looks almost like a grasshopper sitting on the back of it. And as it kind of saws its legs together, making this slight humming noise, you see the needle of pine cone begin to vibrate in the hand as it starts to work on your thigh.
That's so cool.
And it's less painful than most tattoos, actually. If at some point Esther asks about it, they basically explain that mixed in with the ink is a almost congealing property that makes the ink more permanent, makes it stay vibrant longer, and it's a bit of a painkiller as well. So that way they can keep doing that. They can work quicker and do it all in one sitting as opposed to multiple times.
Oh.
And they do this beautiful work made of, I think, what was it, rubies for you?
Yeah. Ruby
Of
dust.
ruby dust. All across most of your thigh. Which, yep, the art there looks good. Alright. So yeah, as described, if you'd like to describe it yourself to the tattoo that Esther gets.
So, the main center portion of the tattoo is a book. It's got a green jade set directly in the center. The book is of a red cracked and worn almost leather. And above it, on the title, where the title would go, it says in a gold writing, Mia Familia. So, my family in Primordial. I probably butchered the Latin, I'm so sorry.
I'm not going to correct it.
In front of the book, there is a rose lying horizontally. Behind the book, there is an arrow, though only the back portion of the shaft, the feathers, and the tip are visible, which is the way that it's been angled. To the left of the book, where the arrowhead sits in the bottom corner, there is a bottle, a glass vial filled with a bubbling gold and blue liquid. And by the head of the rose, there is a large diamond resting there, and it's chipped slightly. It looks almost to be four faceted, not in the traditional shape of a diamond, but more square, so that four facets can be shown. And next to the diamond and the rose head, on the right side of the book, there is a candle burning.
All right. And with this collage, or actually, while Xenia steps out for a bit, kind of asks you to explain the purpose of each of them. And they had these like slight accents to it, especially with the blues and golds of the potion. Given it's almost like property of steam seeming to rise out of it as part of the rubies that get implanted in. They actually take a bit of sapphire dust to mix in with the ruby dust and make this like purple shimmer as part of the potion. Yeah, you could see me. And yeah, basically, yep, done. Click it back.
Oh, sorry.
Yep, it's all good. And yeah, they add highlights wherever they seem fit and make the sparkle of the gems work with the image. Adding like a bit of what's the gold foil called in books called?
Gold leaf?
Gold leaf, thank you. Makes it like a red gold leaf, like almost like a coppery gold. That's part of the book. The arrowhead has this slight undertone to part of the metal that shines with the ruby's light. The rose, of course, is vibrant, and the diamond sparkles. A kind of combination of colors that suggests it has many colors within it, like a prism. And as he kind of, they sit back and take a look at it. They go, "All right, you said pretty well." I'm going to assume from the two of you having.
Pardon?
Having
You
what?
are. You got
Oh,
like garbled
sorry.
like partway through that.
I'm going to assume from the relative muscles and scars on each of you that you are used to pain and injury in combat. Each of you.
And just a bit.
Anyway, I had my first tattoo when I was 13.
Oh. I didn't really do look into the Johnson traditions. Very interesting. I want to learn some of their techniques. But that's neither here nor there today.
There's a gathering going down if you. We got our
Oh.
flying castle if you want to hang out.
I have so many appointments to keep.
Hmm.
I'll see if I can find you a book, perhaps, when we're back.
I'll give you a free tattoo. Small one, if you do.
I
But,
can accept that.
With the completion of that too, Esther, you can go in and add +1 to your strength score.
Neat. Finally, all my numbers are even.
Alright, they kind of pat the seat for you, Xenia, and no, obviously, I was joking about the unsharp tattoo.
Oh, you are a professional at best. I trusted you wouldn't.
Good.
At best.
That being said, I do have a if you want to put your trust in me, a needle that I've been wanting to try for a while.
Hmm? Oh, what?
A needle that I've been wanting to try for a while. A gift from one of my clients. I got it from the Feywild.
Yes.
All right. As you see, they kind of pull open another drawer, and inside is this like silvery pool of liquid. And as they kind of take a fingertip and run it across the surface of the liquid, you can hear like a slight crackling sound, like ice freezing. and they dip their hand deep into it, and pull out this elaborate silver needle out of the drawer.
Cool.
Shall we begin?
Yeah. Let's go for it.
All right. You see them take out actually a tuning fork and tap it on the needle, and it begins to hum with that same buzz as the needle begins to vibrate. They dip it in the ink and swirl it with the sapphire dust for you? Or emerald dust.
Emerald.
Emerald dust. And begin your tattoo.
Alrighty.
So, as again, the process is quick and remarkably painless, even compared to what you're used to. They've gotten significantly more skilled since you last seen them. If you would like to show the image to everyone of the tattoo
Yeah.
that Xenia gets,
I will drop it in the memes channel
and in the art channel too for.
and in the art channel for Ariel, because thank you, Ariel.
So, if Ariel at some point you want to throw in the recording, I'll leave it up to you on how you do so.
I don't really have an easy way to do so, so.
I can still describe it verbally at least.
Yeah, if you'd like.
For the
Did you do a
recording.
handout, Conrad? Like as it's being explained?
I'll see how quickly I can download the image while I do recording, but go ahead and describe it in the meantime.
It is a cluster of flowers added onto Xenia's rose on the upper arm. I remember when Xenia first got the ability to do their actual shape changing with the Neo Elf race. Conrad said the tattoos can actually move slightly, so the rose has actually been moved to more of the bottom right. It is as beautiful and vibrant as red as usual, but underneath is an orange and fading to yellow zinnia with the leaves sort of hanging off of it. Beside the rose is a very large sunflower. Above the sunflower is a cluster of cacti, and cactus flowers on top. And to the right of that is a cluster of blue thistle. And right on top are a couple stems of purple hyacinth. Flowers that have been told time and time again represent the party and that are getting put on.
All right. And as the tattoo completes, as you begin to get a bit tired, it's kind of late in the day, and especially after the morning you guys have had. But you watch the work get done, and with a slight retcon for the Latin of the tattoo that Esther got.
I am so sorry. I didn't.
That's okay.
Again,
So what would you like it to be instead?
whatever my family means in fucking Latin or primordial, because apparently I said it
Gensmea.
very wrong.
I think you said it in Spanish.
Yeah.
No. Let's fucking
Spanish
say that.
is,
To be
ignorant.
fair, when I did look up familia in my dictionary, family was like the third or fourth definition, but the first one, domestics. Yeah,
Yeah, but not that one.
not that one.
So when the download finishes on the handout, I will make it available to you guys. But with that, Ashton and Rosalind.
Oh, can I add my
Yeah,
I add
go
the
ahead
plus
and add your plus one dexterity bonus.
Perfect.
Oh,
As-
real quick.
Oh.
Does this guy also do piercings, or is that his apprentice job?
There's someone within the place that'll do it for you, but they do know that they only really do traditional elven piercings. So none of them are metal of any kind.
Do you want to stick in your ear?
That's okay. I can replace it with a metal stud. I could replace it with something metal, though, couldn't I? Eventually.
Oh yeah, once it heals properly, yeah.
In that case, do they do lip piercings?
Probably, yeah.
Snake bites. Snake bites.
All right, so go ahead and mark off an extra 100 gold pieces for that. Oh, sorry, no,
Wow.
extra 10 gold pieces for that. It's a standard piercing. Never mind. For a second, I forgot my true conversion rate because of fucking Eric doing the silver standard. So yeah, you can go ahead and get fish bites. Fish bites. Fuck me.
That's what they're called in the campaign.
Oh my god. You know what? Yeah, fuck it. In this campaign, they're called fish bites.
Colloquial name.
Yep, especially up in the north.
Well,
Especially house
lame.
bites.
Yeah, she has snake bites in the actual, and Art gets confused while the apprentice goes, "Oh yeah, I studied down in Valeri."
Yep. All right. So as Esther slowly becomes more and more of a goth mom,
I'd like snake bites. Bite me.
it
The
wasn't
snake
judgment.
already has.
All right.
Hey, look
Hopefully
at
that
He
that.
has
serves
the
your
tat.
plans. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, Ashta and Rosalind, what are you two up to? Might I ask?
For clarity, I don't need an entire shopping thing. I know
Just
what
curious.
Rosalind is looking for. I sent images to you in direct
Yep.
a while ago.
The main
So
reason
it's
I
just
ask,
if she comes across it, she'd buy it and
the
hold on
main
to it.
reason I ask is I had a fun little character for the ring owner, for the ring shop owner.
All right. Well, I mean, Ashta might be looking too.
Yep.
Yep. So are you two going together or separate?
Astra would
alright with-
prefer to. Astra's
Mhm.
not going to have Rosalind wandering town on her own. That
Yeah.
said,
I'm okay with together, but there would have to be the clear understanding between the two of them that, alright, if either of us approaches a counter, asks questions, points out anything, buys anything, the other is not looking.
and Astra slowly nods.
All right. So as you guys kind of approach the ring shop, it's a jewelry shop, but a ring shop. It's got this the front sign has this beautiful imagery of the planes as rings, all as separate rings around like a cosmic hand full of stars. And as you enter, you actually see a Gith in the front of the shop. A Githyanki, it seems like, of the which one's the meditative type? I always fuck it up. A sophisticated looking Gith.
Okay.
Sallow yellow skin with this almost like the kind of stereotypical high elf demeanor to them. With the excuse me, extremely straight spine and the hands together in front of their chest as they kind of walk towards you guys and greet you with a slight bow.
Stupid garage door, and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm so sorry about the recording.
It's most of us can't hear it, to be fair, so
Oh, it's going to be audible in the recording. I think that it picks up more on my microphone the Discord sent through.
probably. But yeah, so you kind of approach and they nod to you and say, "Welcome. My name is Sulea. For reference, Solaire. Um, how can I help you guys today? If you'd like, I have a separate counter for men and women if you would like to separate for a bit."
That would be helpful, thank you.
Astra kind of nods and has the look of I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yep, and they kind of smile and separate you two, and I believe I will start with the lady here to give you a bit of time to consider, sir, as you seem mildly
Oh.
crimson.
Oh, I don't need much help. I'm just looking at the moment to see if there's anything that grabs hold of my attention.
Of course.
That's just a mix between like red and pale.
Yep, so a nice pink.
Mm.
Nice rosé. Wait.
A
Never
nice
mind.
blush. A nice blush.
So as you kind of separate, they do seem to pull out a series of ring displays for you, Rosalind. And as you kind of get away from Ashta, you see this like crack of a smile on their face, and just like, so he seems nervous.
He is a bit. He may need a little bit of help.
I'll make my way over to him, but it's I find when they get a moment to sweat, they make a bit more informed decisions.
Well, what do you have in silver then?
Silver, excellent. I have quite a number. Silver exclusively, or would you like it mixed with any sort of metal?
I'd be willing to look, but that is honestly my first thought.
All right. Well, I'll show you what I have, and I can do a lot of custom work. It actually doesn't take me too long.
Right. And she'll just kind of browse for a bit, and I know
Yep,
what she's
and-
looking for. She'll know it when she sees it. It's just a question of if she does.
Yep, you probably don't see it already constructed. There is a design kind of as one of the designs that they do, and a ring that would fit upon it, and you would kind of be like mixing the two.
Yep.
But as you kind of begin to discuss that, and she lets your brows, she kind of makes her way over to Ashton instead. Just like, well, let's start with the budget that you're working with here.
I don't know what the budget is. Like, what's their range?
Are you classically northern? You have this look about you.
Nuts.
All right. Well, for us, you seem a bit unfamiliar with the traditions, but it's less formal here. More southern traditions suggest that you go with an equivalent percentage of what you make on a yearly basis. Might I ask, how much have you made this year, roughly?
Looks like he's about to throw up.
Oh no.
Enough.
Enough.
Hard to say. It's with a group.
He just like stares in the void for a second. It's like,
For
I've helped.
reference, it's somewhere around 700,000 gold.
Yeah, he's saying they're like, I've helped start a small country.
Oh, don't tell him that. You're gonna get price gouged.
Approximately the price of a small town. Got it. They look up to you, kind of like almost seemingly waiting for a laugh. Oh, all right. In that case, let's start with design, and maybe we can consider price another time.
Okay.
I got a smile, and so we'll start with the ones in the roughly 10,000 platinum range, as they pull out this small bracket out of seemingly a bag of holding that is set into the counter. Place it in front of you with these absolutely garish rings, just crusted with gems and platinum and electrum. They look horrendous.
Yep. There's a faint over, and it's just like, I'm not gonna ask you a single thing except, what are you spending? Is this guy gonna try to pull something on me?
Try to steer him in practical directions.
Give me a number, please.
Ah. All right. What's Rosalind's expectation for this?
Oh, you don't expect yours to be anywhere over like 1,000 gold at absolute most.
Honestly, she'd prefer it be kept pretty well under that.
Yeah, it most likely
Because-
will be unless
yeah.
you like request some like strange metal or for some reason the inscription is like super precise.
Yep. All right. She'll feign back very concisely. Then, if you were doing something extremely rare, probably magical, very detailed, it shouldn't be more than 1,000 gold. However, those are extremes. Try to guide him to something under 500.
500. Around 500. Okay.
Under 500.
So as you're having this kind of mental conversation, he goes, "So this one is in the roughly 20,000 gold range, and it's basically just like a gem in the shape of a ruby made into the shape of a gem."
I sure hope it does.
Once more, she's looking up to you, like almost expectant.
I might be going a bit lower than these, though. I had no idea they even went this crazy.
They kind of sigh. It's like, "My dear, I'm making a joke."
How much are they actually?
Oh, they're that expensive. They're not rings I expect to sell. They're expensive
Okay.
for the purpose of jokes.
Uh,
They kind of
is-
put it back in the bag of holding space.
They're hazing.
Oh my god.
They are purely for hazing.
Yes.
I'm purely for hazing, and if that one crazy bastard goes, yeah, let's go with that one, who are they to say no?
It's like, oh yeah, fuck it, fine, I'll make another one. They say, so I assume, based on her choices, you want something relatively unobtrusive.
Yes.
I'm thinking silver?
Nods. Maybe some red in there. It's kind of her thing. I don't want anything that's clashing.
I could mix a wonderful blend of electrum into it. It would bring out not a red tone, but a red reflectiveness to it all.
He nods. There's a quick feint over. I'm trying so desperately to not ask you so many questions right now. I just thought I should let you know.
As she kind of pulls out a few and shows the designs, and if you would like to leave the design work up to her, I can also do that.
I
I
feel
can
like
base
that
it
would...
off I can base it off what she's choosing.
I feel like that'd be kind of running away, but if there's any twist you can put on it to make it at least somewhat aligned, that would be appreciated.
How about this? I have a very minor enchantment I can add to it. Would allow you to feel each other's heartbeat whenever you focus on the ring.
He immediately, like, the brain goes like, oh, tactical.
Hold on a second. No, focus.
And he goes, that would be very good.
Good. Now, do you want to stay here a bit longer, pretend like you came up with the idea yourself?
Oh, she knows I wouldn't. Is he like rubs his face like desperately.
Pats your hand. You know, I would recommend that if you're this nervous, perhaps wait a bit longer. Or are you just a generally anxious type of person?
Yes, both.
She gives you. She reaches under the counter and pulls a small washcloth with cool water for you.
He accepts it. Just I guess I'm wondering if she's about to pull the one she's getting on me immediately.
I mean, if she's choosing the one that I think she will, I'm gonna have to take time to make it, so it won't be immediate.
That's okay. Okay. I don't know if you can put anything aside for preparation on that heartbeat thing, but
I have the enchantments ready. I've got the equipment done for it.
just nods like, okay.
My friend, would you like some tea? Maybe possibly a seat?
I'll be okay.
Okay. You look like you're about to
Appreciate it though.
You look like you may pass out. Are you sure?
Nods.
All right. Just pats you one more time on the hand. I'll give you a minute. She steps back over to Rosalind. Just, you see the gleam of mischief from a kindred soul in her eye. Does he ever have a heart rate below 120?
When he's asleep.
I was hoping
That sounds
that was
right.
your answer.
Gets back to 119.
Yeah.
115 on a good day.
He kind of smiles and says, he had asked for some minor enchantments that I believe you'll find pleasant, so I will add that to both of the rings for you. A duo that works together, I imagine. Though, do you want to show me which design you eventually settled on?
I think something like this, but could you do it with oak leaves?
I think I could. Wonderful. Oh, you mean like the design of oak leaves, right? I've had stranger
Yes.
ones. You don't
Oh,
actually. Okay, good. Druids get weird. I just want to check.
I do understand. No, in silver with the small engravings.
Ah, sounds lovely. I can get that done for the pair of you, and I will get the enchantment prepared. And from his mention of a small country, I imagine I should have it sent to the flying castle?
We're not very discreet, are we?
No,
Hard to be. But
Little
yes,
bit.
that would.
quite a show of gravitas, though. I approve.
That would be the location.
All right. And for which names?
Do you need first names, last, or both?
Preferably both. I like to add a bit of a personal touch to it.
Alright, she'll give their names and just say, and if there's this particular day when it'll be ready, we can just come and pick them up.
Yes. Sorry. Could you show me the spelling of his last name again?
It's exactly as it sounds.
Lightwell. Interesting. All right.
Can I insight? Is this
Go for it.
particular interest? 18.
She seems familiar with the name.
Do you know many? I know that some of his family have been in the area.
Oh, distant memory. I made rings for a young woman. Mentioned something about a light well once. I'm not sure if it's the same person.
Ah, how
Maybe,
long ago?
if I had to guess, 25, 30 years at most.
She's gonna ping a feign to Ashta with this. And a very
Mm.
gentle, she might know or have commissioned for your mother?
The main reason I wanted to ask, well, they never picked up the rings. Some sort of tragedy, from what I hear.
Just ping harder to Ashta. Just turn over and just
He
out
just
loud.
turns over and
Ashta?
walks over.
She kind of nods to you
She...
and, sorry, can I just, Mr. Lightwell? Yes?
Nods.
Just give me a moment. I'm curious. And she steps in the back room for a minute. You hear some rustling, but a minute and a half goes by, and she comes back out with these two pair of almost completely plain silver bands with a slight blue. Kind of seems to be almost like cobalted um, metal on the middle of the two bands. And she kind of puts them out and says, "Do you mind putting one of these on for me?"
Just kind of like tilts that slightly and is like, what would that tell you?
This I just want to see if it fits. If it just seems like it fits.
I'll give a quick insight check on this.
Go for it.
Just, is the shopkeep being straight with that? Or
Um, she's intentionally being vague, but not in a sinister way.
okay.
Almost like she's kind of just holding back a bit of emotion.
He slowly pulls off the gauntlet.
As you kind of put on the ring, I assume.
Mhm.
Kind of blue in the center, the band of it just glows a little bit. She kind of smiles, and I see I was not mistaken with the lineage. It was meant to be so that so long as the person who requested it was wearing it, it would have a gentle glow. So if it was ever lost, they could find it again. Something about rough work and traveling a lot. It seems that you are close enough of a match for the magic to work. Please, you don't have to, but if you want these, no charge. They've been sitting in my back room for a couple decades now. Didn't feel right to sell them.
He kind of opens and closes the hand with the ring on. Sure.
So,
Ashta, would you like those to be made over and used? I wouldn't
I could
mind.
use the same metal.
Give me a bit.
All right.
She nods and pulls out a second one of those, like, cold washcloths for you.
Mm.
I'll be in the back room. If you need me, just give me a call, okay?
Yep. And he just slides the one he has on off.
The
Picks,
glow kind of fades as it comes off your finger.
picks the other one up and turns it in his hand.
Looks a bit too small to fit on your hand.
Are you all right?
I think so. Just I don't know what to do with this.
You could keep it in their memory. You could use it. whatever you would want, whatever would feel best.
Nods. I I feel like I should be happy to find these, but no. I wouldn't want to tie something like this to you.
Alright. Then we'll get our own.
I,
And these will be a memory.
I unless you'd want to.
I made the offer in case you wanted to. In case
kinda,
you
like,
wished
turns
for
the-
that tie.
Ken turns the bigger one in his hand, pockets it,
Yep.
picks up the smaller one.
This one has a bit of a slightly different sheen to it, almost a bit more of a matte. Like the metal isn't as buffed shiny as the other one. A bit more rugged.
Is that one too big or too small for him?
Too small. Seems to be a bit more petite hand that it fits.
He'll wait for the person to come back.
Yep. She will basically wait until you call her.
He'll give a wave down then.
Yep, she'll make her way out of the back and... So, your decision?
Nods. And he'll slide the smaller one back. Keep that one. I think I have an idea.
Alright. And, for your two, I'm not going to charge you for it, okay?
Nods.
Consider it a gift.
Thank you.
Happy to. So, please, feel free to make yourself comfortable. I'm just going to begin working in the back room, okay?
Nods.
And if you have any change to design, just send a message to me and I will have it done.
Will do.
Alright. So she makes her way to the back room, and you hear the beginning of magic and machinery, metalworking, to begin working on some project. Not sure which one, but assuming yours. Yeah. Unless you have anything else you want to do.
He'll give an outline of what he wants to do, but we'll handle that after session thing.
Sure thing. Alright, so with that, yeah, Fergus, you can go ahead and mark off your 12 hours for work on the project. And otherwise, I think it's we're in session for today.
Okay. Well, till next time.
Till then.
Till next time.
Alrighty.